What's up guys? In today's video, I wanted to share a review of some things that I have been using lately. 5 different things, like mini review style, no particular theme here, just new makeup that I've had in my hands that I'm ready to share my thoughts on. Quick, simple, easy. Let's go ahead and get started. First up is a brow product. This is Tarte's Sketchin' Set. I picked this up, it's a dual-ended pencil and gel, and I picked this up thinking that I could consolidate and simplify at least the number of products that I use on my brows. This was back when I was using my CoverGirl Ultrafine Brow Pencil in conjunction with my Anastasia Dip Brow Gel. I picked this up and the quality of both products, the pencil and the gel, is good, but honestly it was hard to use and to figure that out because it's so warm. Both of these, the Anastasia that I use and the Tarte, is in the shade medium brown, but Tarte is so much warmer than my Anastasia, and I feel like I'm wearing it today and I feel like it is just too warm for my liking. It doesn't look natural with my skin tone. I think brows are naturally a little bit deeper and a little bit cooler than the hair on your head, and this is the natural coloring of the hair on my head. Well, for the most part. I mean, there's a lot of extension going on in here, you know what I mean? But generally, brows are a little deeper, a little cooler, and maybe it's just me not being able to get used to having warmer brows. Maybe they're a little softer than I prefer, but it's taken some getting used to in order to even test this product, and now that I have, I'm still not loving the color, and honestly the combo of the pencil and brow gel isn't one-upping the process that I talked about recently, where I am just taking an angled brush and going in solely with this brow gel and filling in my brows with it to get kind of a combo set, fill, fluff, and volume sort of situation all in one kind of thing. You can go check that video out, either click the I or check the description box below for a link in case you want to watch it. But kind of after discovering that process, I lost even more motivation for even giving this a shot. So the products themselves aren't bad, the coloring was just a little warm for my liking, and I have a process that I like better. So I'll use this, I'll go back to this when I run out of my Anastasia, like before I buy another Dip Brow Gel. Probably will use this guy, but it's not what I'm reaching for front and center. We have some duds coming up next. These are some new highlighters from Physicians Formula from the Rose All Day collection, and without even telling you what they are duds for me because they smell so strong. And this is nothing new for Physicians Formula. Their butter bronzers are very heavily fragranced with like that coconut sort of scent. These are rose fragranced appropriately, but they smell like a rose perfume, and I swear they are stronger than the average Physicians Formula scent. And I'm not typically all that sensitive to scents, but these just, I mean, I smelled these before I even got them out of the packaging. They were so strong. So you can imagine what it's like having them on your face. It definitely dissipates unless you're sensitive to scents, and then maybe you'll smell it all the time, but it's just too strong for me. If you are actually curious about the products, one I got was the Set and Glow, which is kind of interesting. It's what intrigued me about this was that it is a combo balm up here and a powder down here. You can wear them individually, layer them, kind of something that I had seen higher end brands do, like a Pat McGrath where she has an illuminating balm. Danessa Myricks, I love her illuminating balm, but kind of brought it down to a drugstore level. But honestly, the balm is not that balmy. The powder is not great worn alone, and the shine isn't enhanced when I layer it over the balm. Like, I was just very unimpressed with this product performance paired with the scent. Like, it's so strong. I can't do it on this one. The other one I got, this is the Petal Glow highlighter, which is just one uniform powder shade here. Really pretty pink with a golden iridescence to it, like almost multi-chromatic. I really wanted to love this one, and it does perform really beautifully either as a highlighter or even a blush overspray if you want a glowy, goldeny pink blush to just enhance whatever else you got going on. But I can't get past the scent. The scent is a lot, and there are other brands with similar multi or like iridescent sort of powder plays going on, and so I just don't, for that reason, I don't really have a ton of motivation to choose this one over those. So that's unfortunate, but let's move on to a win. I bought 2 of the new Makeup Geek 9-pan palettes with the new eyeshadow formula. I chose to get the 9-pans because it would give me a good mix of the different shades and formulas, and I just think she did such a good job at choosing the shadow combinations. One is very predictable for me, and I think this is shades of, I forget, I'll put something down here where it says it's what the name of this 9-pan palette is. This is a little bit more predictable for me. Neutrals, purples, greens, these are all very much comfort zone shades for me. This pretty teal up here in the corner. This next one though, which is called Shades of Romance, and I just used this in the last video I uploaded, which was a tutorial using this palette. This just struck me as so interesting. Oh, and by the way, both of these palettes have the shade Medieval in common, so that's why you see this shade missing from here. I didn't want to open up two of the same color shadows, so I just kind of flip-flop one back to the other. This is what it fully assembled looks like, and I just love the interesting combination of the cool, vibrant blue with the warmer corally red shades, and then you have this beautiful soft lilac up here, and neutrals. Like, this palette can kind of do everything, and they're colors I would never put together. So that is in part why I picked pre-assembled palettes up, because otherwise I thought it was very hard to choose amongst all the other colors that she had. And I love the formula. I had all of the other finishes that she had made before, the mattes, her shimmers, her foiled eyeshadows, which I really loved. I think all of these are just as good, if not better. And a note even about the foiled eyeshadows is I know a lot of people had, I love the initial formula, no complaints from me, but I saw a lot of other people didn't love how much they creased on their eyelids, especially if they had oilier eyelids, because the shadows themselves contained a little bit of some sort of oil that contributed to creasing. And these, while they are still soft and very pigmented, don't seem to contain any, or certainly as much of that whatever emulsifier or medium she had them in before. So maybe more appealing to those of you that had that issue with the foiled shadows. These might be a better fit for you. I will say I don't think all of these shades are super unique. Like, I didn't need some of these matte neutrals here. Like, they're definitely, I'm sure I have a ton of them already in my collection. But again, I just like the idea of having these pre-assembled color palettes that I could reach for and take on the go, as well as getting a solid sampling of a variety of different textures from her new line. So I really like these. If you've been considering trying her new shadow formula, I recommend them. And I also like the pre-assembled palettes, whether you get the, I think there are 4 pans, the 9 pans, or the mega matrices, which look, matrices is the plural, pretty sure. But in case you're eyeing any of them, I recommend them. Now let's talk about some lips. A few weeks back, Muse Beauty Pro sent me the new Viseart Moisture Boost Lip Shines. There are 4 new shades that they launched within this kind of gloss collection. Actually, they're kind of an anti-gloss, I think. They're basically supposed to be very lightweight, sheer glossy lip products, like not sticky, not heavy feeling, more like a lip oil, if you will. Very nourishing to the lips. And while some of the deeper shades here have a ton of pigment payoff, they are still very like a sheer jelly gloss. Now this shade obviously looks like it has a hint of pink, like a light baby pink in the container, but it is, I mean, so sheer I would not even say it has any tint to it. I would consider this more of a clear gloss. The next shade up is Beignet, which is a beautiful soft camel shade. And this actually adds more pigment to the lips than you might think, at least on my skin tone it does anyway. Moving one more shade up, this is the shade that I'm wearing today, which is Fleur. It's a soft mauve. And then the last shade is Cerise, a beautiful eggplant or burgundy sort of shade that doesn't clump or look patchy on the lips. Because one thing with a gloss formula that's supposed to be sheer that I always worry about is when it applies unevenly, or if you blot your lips, I mean, it's a gloss. It's going to move around, and because these are lightweight glosses that aren't sticky, I was worried they would move around even more because of that. But they really do stay very evenly distributed. The only thing about these is, and this is actually kind of good, kind of bad, my lips soak these up, especially when they are really dry. These are very hydrating, and so naturally my lips soak them up, but because of that, I feel like the glossy texture doesn't last, or can sometimes not last all that long on me. Like, I applied this right before I started filming. It's been 20 minutes. I haven't eaten or haven't consumed anything with my lips, and yet I feel like the shine has already dulled. So it's just a matter of it getting absorbed into your lips, which again, nice, but not necessarily low maintenance if you just kind of want to put something on and go without worrying about it. Then the only other thing I want to mention about these is the scent and the taste. The scent is actually pretty light. I didn't even think to smell it until I applied it to my lips, and I noticed the taste was stronger. It's like kind of a soft, sweet combination of a floral and a candy. I don't really know how to describe it. It smells nice and light, but like I said, when I applied it is when I noticed it tasting and smelling a little bit stronger, and it definitely lingers a little bit. So again, just like the Physicians Formula, if you're sensitive to taste or scent, you might not love these because it's definitely noticeable. And last up, I have some new blushes from MAC. These I really like, and I actually think I'm going to get even more use out of as the weather warms up because they are a cream mousse hybrid. Kind of similar to a ColourPop formula, but a little bit more firm. So when you like press your finger into them, they're solid. They don't cave like a gel or a liquid or anything like that, but they also don't bounce back. So they're like that kind of moussey sort of texture. These are called, by the way, the Glow Play blushes, and they sent me 2 shades. One, the softer one is definitely because I've been doing more dramatic eye looks. I've been wearing this a little bit more than the other one. This is called Grand, but the other one, again, I think this is going to be a summer love for me, is the shade Groovy, because look at how hot and bright that orange is. These are also really nice because unlike a powder, you know, they're a little bit more forgiving. So as that kind of creamy hybrid product, you can use them on the cheeks, you can throw them on your lips for more of a monochromatic look. They're a little bit closer to a do-it-all product as opposed to a powder blush, which is a little bit harder to throw on your lips without them looking kind of dry and crusty, you know what I mean? It's also why that formula I think is a little bit more forgiving on the skin as well. If you struggle with patchiness of blush on your cheeks, a formula like this is just a little bit less prone to clinging to areas like that because it behaves like a powder once it dries down, but as you're applying it, it's a little bit closer to a cream and gives you a little bit more moisture. Oh, and the other thing about these, which you could probably tell by the name, but just in case, just so we're clear, they're glowy. Like you shear them out and there's no shimmer, glimmer, anything like that, and yet they still maintain this beautiful soft glow. So they're kind of like a blush illuminator hybrid, but really great for someone. I know a lot of people don't love shimmery highlights. They want to know how they can get a highlighted effect, but they don't want shimmery highlights, and this is a good way to go about it. It's kind of like a dewy or balmy highlight almost, but they dry down to a totally matte powder finish. So it's kind of like the best of both worlds. If you want to see more reviews like this, I mean, not exactly like this whole 5-in-1 mini review format, but more reviews, you can check out this playlist right here. Otherwise, please subscribe, guys. I'd love to see you around here in the future. Thank you so much for watching this video. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.